There is one.
What's that?
Only Zool. All right, and we're live. We're streaming. Look at there's your sexy mug there, bro.
Hi.
All right, let me get back to my notes.
Yeah, so our YouTube live is delayed about 15, 20 seconds from our Zoom, so it's a little weird.
Cool.
Yeah, I gotta try just not to pay. I gotta not pay attention. Okay. Welcome to episode 57 of the Thrash Report. This is for July 27th, 2021. My name is Chris, and this is your weekly music commentary podcast where we discuss all things metal and heavy music. Before we get rolling, I just want to remind everyone that I'd like to thank our sponsors, and they have a great deal for you Thrash Report listeners. And this is Discover CBD Twin Cities. They offer safe, top-tier CBD products, the highest quality. Their products are third-party lab tested. They're manufactured in an ISO 7 clean room, and they're organically grown and sourced from Southern Colorado. It's actually really cool. Every product they have has a little QR code on it. You can scan it with your phone. Shows you specifically the test that was conducted on that batch of CBD products. It's pretty cool. They encourage you to try their new relaxing, soothing, and tasty line of Delta 8 line of edibles. Again, you can actually find anything that you need at discovercbdtwincities.com. Don't forget, use the word thrash for 20% off your order and free shipping. What? So go ahead and give those guys a try. Again, we really do appreciate Discover CBD Twin Cities for their support. Jim, my co-host, my partner in crime, what's going on, buddy?
I got nothing funny right now. It's kind of a sad couple of days with some passing of some of our heroes.
Yes, it has been. It's been a crazy couple of days. This first one I want to talk about is vocalist from Metal Church. Michael Ho died at the age of 55. No cause of death has been released yet. Again, they're just requesting that they give some privacy to the friends and family during this time. Kind of came out of nowhere, man. I mean, he was, I mean, I don't know. I'm like, I just saw him, he was on the Metal Cruise, hung out. I got to meet him a couple times on the cruise. I got to meet him at a couple clubs prior to that. He just seemed like he was healthy and, again, super humble and really cool dude too. Just hanging out, having conversations. And again, it's really sad that he had passed. So I'm a huge Metal Church fan. In my opinion, I think that era of Metal Church, as well as like the last two albums when Mike came back to the band, that was Metal Church to me. Like I was a huge fan of that era. So again, a sad time and the passing of Michael Ho. I hope that, again, not that I hope, but again, I do wish that it was something that we didn't see coming. I just don't want it to be another, stereotypical, just overindulgence or something like that, OD right. Or something. It kind of bummed me out. And then today we found out of another passing. This is really sad.
For sure.
The founding drummer of Slipknot, Joey Jordison. He had passed, get this, at a young age of 46 years old. Can you believe it? Bro.
Oh, awful.
I'm 47, bro. Like that's just way too fucking young, right?
Yep. Yeah. So I don't know. I haven't heard a cause of death or anything on that, except for, he had some pre-existing conditions and some medical stuff he's going through, but man, that sucks. That's awful.
Yeah. I know that at the time when he left Slipknot, there really was no reason why they kind of talked, it was kind of like, they didn't really talk about it, right? It was just something that happened. I know he went on to do some other projects, but evidently he does have, he was battling an existing condition, a form of MS, It's called transverse myelitis, and it's a neurological disorder that affects the spine. So I know it was causing him some. It was causing him some grief there. So I don't know if that's related to the passing, but that's again, it's a sad time. This week has been rough.
For sure. Rest in peace, Mike and Joey.
Right on. And with that, we have a special guest with us today. This is going to be awesome. We got a couple guys. So this band was formed back in 2009 on a farm outside of Watertown, Wisconsin. And the founding members, they met by fate, right? Over basically at a local fishing spot.
Yeah.
What else in Wisconsin? But anyway, long after that, they started jamming, and songs started coming together, and it was time to find drums, bass. Anyway, a few years later, and some beers.
Always beer.
That's right.
It's a couple.
They really started to get some local attention, and they've gone ahead and shared the stage with some great national acts as well. Jim, who do we have with us today?
We have Mr. Jake Schultz and Mr. Adam Keatman from Wisconsin's own Squid Hammer Metal. How's it going, fellas?
Good.
How you doing, guys?
How's it going?
Thanks, guys. Great to be on tonight. Heck yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us.
For sure. Thanks.
For having us.
Yeah. So quickly, how about introduce yourselves, a little bit of history besides just the band like Chris did, but we always like to ask how people got into metal. So Jake and Adam, how'd you get into metal? How'd you two meet?
Well, I got into it. I think I was like 9 years old. I walked into my uncle's trailer and he had there a Randall Warhead and an old dime bag guitar and just laid down the squeal. That sucker was cranked all the way to 10. And I just, right then and there, it was like, all right, I'm done with Limp Bizkit, man. It's time for. And then speaking of metal church, like it was like a year later, I walked into a thrift store in my hometown in Marshall, and the first 3 metal church CDs were sitting in this box for like $1 a piece.
Wow.
And I had never even heard of them at that age, and I just they looked so cool. I bought them anyways. And yeah, I ended up just really getting into that and cranking it forever. And then
that's awesome.
Then Pantera was dawned upon me and it was over.
Awesome. So right into Pantera. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, for me, I'm 42 years old. I've been playing guitar and drums for 32 years. My uncle was original guitarist in Bad Boy, which is like a Midwestern kind of a power pop rock thing.
Cool.
So I grew up with stories on the road and, touring with Dokken and all these stories, hearing the Crew and Rat and all the great glam from the time that was enough to, make me want to smoke in the boys' room, So it was just pretty much that energy and the raw power that you don't see in the pop groups today. And that's kind of like what we're trying to do now, is to try to shape the grit and the driving tones with some of the pop structures and hooks and stuff that, people want to listen out for. But definitely a long process. Guitar and drums. I'm playing bass in Squid Hammer. I never played bass in a band. I'm just absolutely loving it. So
Cool.
good combination of guitar and drums playing bass. So it's been a great fit for me.
That's awesome. So you said you're from Marshall, Jake. Is that Marshall, Wisconsin, or?
Yeah.
Right. Is that over? Is the band, do you say you're from Watertown? Is that between Madison and Milwaukee? Is that right?
Yeah. Marshall's just down the road in a marsh.
That's all.
That's it. A couple cattails and a quick chirp.
Dude, that's funny.
Yep. Quick Trip is everywhere. It's headquartered here in La Crosse. So yeah. It's Wisconsin's go-to gas station.
Yeah. You got to get that fine dining in,
Oh, yeah.
I remember a buddy of mine when I played in a band called End Result. They were based out of Fond du Lac, so I would commute like from here to Fond du Lac. It was a hike, right? But I'd go there like a couple times a month, every other weekend or whatever. And that was before there was any Culvers here, and so that was like a treat. I would go to Wisconsin, and this place was amazing. They had this thing called a Butterburger. and I would just like get like the freaking double butter burger with bacon, and oh my god. Anyway,
There's no better way to get the shits, man. But if you're gonna talk about burgers, you got to talk to this guy.
Yeah. We don't have a Burger King in town, but I am the king of burgers in town.
all right.
Nice.
Yeah. That's what people tell me. Let's just say that.
You're the king, man.
All right. So are you the one grilling up all the burgers? And I see the videos.
Yeah.
That you post and-
Yeah, I spend much of my time at Mullen's Dairy Bar. That's actually the catalyst of how we met.
Yeah.
He probably heard me playing some Pantera or some White Zombie or something in the kitchen. And I think he stuck his head in with one of the Dime Fest posters of the season to have us put it up because we're a hopping spot, you know. So I'm pretty sure that's how it happened.
Yeah.
So once you guys get here to Minneapolis, to Minnesota, you guys ever been to Matt's Bar? And they're well known for their Juicy Lucy.
Yeah, it sounds very familiar.
You ever hear the Juicy Lucy? It's like this burger that it's like they put cheese in the middle of the
Yeah, I've
burger.
heard of that. I know Gumby's is the place for the tots.
Yep. Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, if you're gonna say Matt's Bar, I gotta say the 5-8 Club,
Okay.
because that's the big argument in Minnesota. Who
Let's
did the
drop it,
Juicy
yeah.
Lucy first?
It's a throwdown. Gloves are coming off there, buddy. Well, we'll make it happen.
We'll try any of the burgers you put in front of us. We'll give our honest opinion.
That's awesome. Now you mentioned something that I know I want to just jump back to. You mentioned something about dime stock. Let's actually quick jump to that right now and talk a little bit about what dime stock is and the history. And then you have a show coming up. Let's go ahead and talk about that.
Yeah, for sure, man. It started in Madison, and I think we hopped on like the 3rd annual one. We're at the 10th now,
Nice.
but played it for a couple years, and it started getting too big for a bar, pretty much, to where it was like, we know this place in Watertown with this outdoor stage, and it's like you can camp. It's kind of a private park, but it's open to the public, and the people that were running it were kind of looking for an out too, you know, so they just like kind of handed it over to me, and we're like, have at her, man. And yeah, we just blew it up, and it's like, you know, now you can expect a few hundred people and just tents, and it's just a great time, man. And Friday night, don't miss the traditional black tooth grins for the man, because it's
Right
his
on.
birthday, you know.
Drink it or wear it.
The festival.
Yep.
The festival was the first time that I ever saw these guys, and I'm a dad of 3, and you know, I lived in Chicago 12 years earlier, and I had never had so much fun with music since I left Chicago. And the passion with all the kids and the bands and the way that everybody gets along, and you can just see the passion and the intensity, and they all just pull it off so well. So I was actually honored to be on both sides of the stage as a fan and as a member, and it's been a great time.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I wanted to show our appreciation real quick too to Carbon 4. They hooked us up with
Oh,
like
oh,
5
yeah.
half barrels worth of beer. So this place is just going to be lit up, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
We need
That's
help
awesome.
floating them kegs.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Carbon 4 is craft brew out of Madison, and it is
Yep.
delicious.
and they're great people.
Yeah.
I
Awesome.
just
Cool.
can't say it enough.
That's awesome when you get local support like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we've mentioned Dime Stock a few times on here, but again, it's a tribute to Pantera. And you said you're on your 10th year now?
Yeah. It's,
fans.
I mean, we pretty much see it like a dime bag birthday party, you know, and what kind of party would we want to have? We try to do that, honor the best we can. But this year we got Thrasher from Milwaukee, who they just do all the badass 80s metal that you can think of, you know. We got Vermilion. I'm sure you're familiar with those guys.
Mhm.
You know, we play it. Cast and Fire's been playing it for years with us. They just really throw it down. It's awesome.
So is it a festival in just Dimebag's honor, or does
Yeah,
every band do a tribute to him? Does every band cover Pantera songs?
Pretty much.
band
Pretty
plan?
much. Yep. Most bands do. If you don't, you know, it's not a big deal. It's just like, hey, would Dime enjoy this band? Hell yeah, he would. So yeah, go for it, man. But a lot of bands will fill their whole setup with it, like we usually do. Mostly Pantera, Cast and Fire would fill their setup with it. We actually have a band called Clash with Reality that just formed
Nice.
and I've seen some of the talent and the members, and they're I'm pretty excited to see what they pull. They're doing a full set of Pantera classics, so yeah,
Awesome.
just trying to do it justice in a small way, you know.
Yeah, so I heard about it, I think 2 years ago, and I wanted to check it out, but I forget what, I had something going on. And then last year, you didn't do it
It's a
last year, did
busy
you?
time of the year, you know.
Yeah. And then last year being all the COVID shit, missed it. And then
Yeah.
this year, my nephew's getting married on that Saturday, so
There you go.
can't make it again this year. So
Yeah, no, we're not gonna freaking hold it against you, man. Don't worry. You'll be there one of these years.
That's right. That's right. And so let's just
pick
again
a date
just a
right now,
reminder-
and I'll mark it down to be free.
just a reminder for everybody. Again, Dime Stock. This is Southern Wisconsin's 10th annual Pantera tribute show, and it takes place August 20th, 21st, and 22nd.
Yeah,
And,
just real quick, say the 21st is when all the live bands are. So it's
Okay.
basically the 20th. If you're camping, come set up your camper, do the Blacktooth Grins, party with us, you know. Then Saturday, all the music. Sunday is just kind of like whoever wants to chill around, have Bloody Marys and freaking waffles.
I see that. Yeah, waffle breakfast and a Bloody Mary bar. Can't beat that.
Air out the shorts a bit.
That's awesome.
Are you saying you get Zachley's at the show?
Oh man, we get Zachley's all over the whole. It's like a full body Zachley's, dude.
How to buy
Okay,
Zachley's?
hold on. I'm ignorant. I'm ignorant. I don't know what that is.
Oh.
Explain this
Have you
to
watched
me.
have you seen the Pantera home videos?
Yes. Oh, yes.
As you say, it's exactly when your asshole and your armpits smell exactly like dog shit.
That's funny. Yes.
Something like that.
Yeah, you got it just about right.
Oh my god, that's hilarious, dude.
Yeah, those videos taught me how to drink and party when I was younger.
Same here, dude.
Used to do it Lone Star State style, upside down against the wall.
So we'll go ahead. We'll make sure that we have a link to all the details on Dime Stock in the show notes and on our Facebook as well. We'll go ahead and link to that. So if anyone wants more details, again, it'd be great to check out Squid Hammer Metal and all the rest of the bands there. Again, playing tribute to Dimebag.
And I was gonna ask you guys who your influences are and kind of what gave you your style. But I mean, when I got into you a couple years ago, it was because I heard you're a Pantera tribute band or fans of Pantera. So when I heard your song "Rock the Fuck On," that first riff, I'm like, Pantera.
Nice. Awesome.
Like, I
Glad you
mean,
dig it, man. Yeah, we
Yeah.
usually we can't get away with not throwing them one bone at the show. You know, they got to hear fucking Hostile or something. So it's like it gets them going. Save it for the end of the night, you know, when they're all tired and shit, so nobody gets hurt real bad.
We deal with that a lot. People tell us that, you know, we remind them of Pantera, and to us, it's the ultimate compliment because they are just the ultimate. So we take it as a real good compliment. So
no,
That's
as
cool.
you should. I mean,
Comment.
That's great.
yeah, I mean, I enjoy your music, and obviously, I love Pantera, so I can definitely hear it in there, and but it's original still. It's not like a baby Pantera or anything. It's not like you're blatantly ripping them off. It's your own style, and it's
Appreciate
really cool.
it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a little bit more of like a Lamb of God, Devil Driver type, just full bore on the vocals shit in there too. So, but you can't diss Phil, man. Back in the day, he was like the next Rob Halford.
Yeah.
But-
So speaking of vocals, if you wouldn't mind, just they're not here, but if you could introduce your other members. And
Yeah. Yep. Jake Hiller's probably doing chores at the horse farm right now.
Yeah.
He's always busting ass out there. Brevin.
probably a quick trip.
Yeah. Quick trip on
That's
the way.
fine dining for Brevin.
I always think it's funny at Quick Trip because you can buy like bags of milk. That's just funny to me.
I know. Our drummer comes over with bags of chocolate milk from Quick Trip, and it's just like, dude, don't leave that in my fridge again.
Or like a bag of soup. What?
Yep. Bags of soup, man.
and the
That's
bags of milk
cool.
have the udders still on them. It's like they just took it off the cows.
Yeah, Brevin Becker on drums. His dad's in Cherry Pie. Like, we discovered him when he was 19, and we're just floored with the style this kid had. Like,
Wow.
younger kids don't really usually get too much of that classic rock style, but he had it in the family. So it's just like,
What's he, 23 now?
yeah.
He's getting
Wow.
better. He's getting better. and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
unbelievable.
That's
So,
cool.
Awesome.
He actually he plays a left-handed style, but he
Oh.
doesn't do any crossing. So everything he plays is like wide open, and it just the combinations and stuff. It's just really different. It's pretty cool.
That's very cool. Yeah.
I never would have picked up on that. It comes to drumming. I mean, I can hear it. I just
Yeah, you just got to see him. I mean, there's times where we're playing together, and I just see what he's doing, and I'm just like, wow, it just stands out.
Yeah, it's hard to get, focus behind you, but when you do, he's like back there standing up, just freaking like, dude, this guy's running it back here.
nice.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't learn. Old dogs can't learn new tricks. I know, Jim. When I was talking to you before, I had for like 6 months I was taking like drum lessons, and I was like 40 at the time, and I spent 8 weeks just on limb independence, just making sure I could do things differently with my 4 limbs. I'm like, this isn't going very well, guys.
Yeah, he's a real freak. I mean, he's a boxer and a ballerina. I mean, it's crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
So I got to ask, I've always been interested in your name, Squid Hammer Metal. What are the origins of that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
We've just recently been tossing around, dropping the metal off it like it was back in the original day, but it was freaking just, we were doing a living room show. Like we started off doing that. We didn't have a name at all. So some drunk dude on a bar stool. I mean, I've told this a million times, but we were just like, let's stick the mic in this guy's, because he was a real original character. He was always going to say something crazy. Stick the mic in his face and let him name us. Out comes Squid Hammer.
That was it.
And the whole room was just like, what the?
That's awesome.
Go. Men at a fishing hole. Drunk guy at the bar names the band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First time I met Hiller, our singer, I was fishing down there and he was playing with a snapping turtle with a stick, like trying to get it to bite the stick. And I'm like, what's up, man?
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and I gotta say it, the first time I ever saw this dude, I was in town and he comes to the intersection in this Trans Am,
Yeah.
decked out with the words power removal service on the car. And I'm thinking, who is this hot shot?
Ain't
seen
nothing yet.
It was like the Wild West when the two cowboys and the horses like meet and the whistle, wow, 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 wow. I mean, but that was it, man. Like that really happened, man. That's going way back. Yeah.
I'm going to be in
That
a
is
band with
great.
that guy someday.
Yeah, like what is that? Power removal service. Are you gonna check
Yep.
my attitude?
Now imagine how many people's heads that sticks in.
Oh yeah. Crazy.
Oh, that's
That
a
really
great.
happened.
Oh, that's a great name, and it's the name of your album too from 2018, Power Removal Service. So that's cool, and it's a great album.
Yeah. Speaking of that, man, we got about a whole batch ready for the studio, dude. And we're hitting it next week or next month,
Nice.
and getting them raws pounded out and sending them down to Texas for the sweeping up.
Nice. Alex, your latest release is Firing Order 1843657
Hey,
We've
you
featured
got it.
that.
Hey.
We've featured that a couple times on the episode, and I got to ask you where that came from.
Well, honestly, it came from the first rig we took to Texas trying to record an album. We the old 350 motor, that's the Firing Order, right? And it's like every vehicle we got, the Trans Am, the freaking Squid truck, everything, it just ends up being that Firing Order. So, we just wanted to pay homage, honestly, to that technology and what brought us down there trustfully and, reliably. It's like, I'm not going to sit here and stroke for GM or nothing, but
Right on.
it's easy when you can just climb in the hood and change spark plugs in 20 minutes.
Yep.
But the riffs,
Yeah. So that's the next thing. The 1843657 that opening riff, that's that laid out on the fretboard.
Ah,
I just tried it and I'm like, man, that sounds kind of damn cool. And if you imagine like a motor pumping to it, it's like, let's drive with that. And
I
that
love
just
it.
crafted the song, dude.
Love it.
dude,
It's a unique story.
I
That's
love
amazing.
it. That
I
is
got the same
awesome.
code on my luggage.
You ain't got to sit there and try to. You got to sit there and try to rehearse the numbers or anything, dude. We usually get 8675309 out of it.
We usually just call it the new single
The new
or
single,
the single.
Firing Order.
It was actually the first time that I got to get my feet wet in helping write the track as well. So that's a big point for me too.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool. Yeah. So talking about fretting and stuff. So let's jump into your gear. What do you guys use? Or
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I acquired I guess for my sound, my bread and butter is my Fender Silverface Bassman 100 1972 amp head, 100 watts. Power. I go through a full tone, full drive 2 distortion pedal. Go through the Crybaby wah pedal, and yeah.
dude, and, the tone he gets. I mean, as a single guitarist in the band, I've never really had interest in like trying to get somebody in on guitar and teach them rhythm and stuff like that. But I've never seen somebody pick a bass up and actually keep up with me the way this cat has. And now he's got this crunchy tone coming out of that Fender. So he almost is like pulling a rhythm guitar move at times, with that tone alone, and then just holding down your classic bass. Like,
Yeah.
it's
That's
pretty
cool.
cool mix.
I just play a Fender Indonesian jazz bass that I rerouted with the Geezer Butler EMG pickups, and it was a great modification. It really made the bass sound great. So highly recommend that for a quick modification for your bass tone.
Cool, man.
cool.
I've been running the Dean Razorback,
Ooh.
that 10K, that diamond plate one, pretty much for the last 12 years, and only broke the headstock off twice. But but that it goes through a warhead at practice, and I'm having issues with the jack on that. Otherwise, that would be on the stage because I just can't beat that tone. But I got a crank 100-watt tube head for the live shows, and it does all right. Yeah, and then just the old MXR custom badass overdrive, and a little bit of wah, a little bit, it's like pretty simple rig. I mean, I like to try to keep it simple because if you've seen any of our videos, like Hiller, our singer, he is all over the stage, both sides, on top of the outwards, up on the PA, climbing, swinging from a rope off the stage, you name it, juggling swords, blowing fire. So it's like, I can't, we used to have a problem with my wires getting unplugged before we just like, let's get wireless, we got to nip this in the butt. And so
Sure.
now we're rolling around with wireless.
Here's one of my guys.
Ooh,
Nice.
Look at that.
nice. That looks like this one my buddy Scott Sharp from Cast and Fire used to have, that he would borrow me. It was such a beautiful piece. He would let me use that on stage sometimes.
Yeah, I love it. I just love how light it is.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so I was gonna ask you too, who's behind all the like pyro and explosions and all this shit, dude? You're mentioning your videos and they're always entertaining. And there's
Yeah.
someone's
Hiller-
getting blown up or something.
Hiller pretty much crafts most of that, and we bring a couple people on that help, like here and there with different stunts, because he's obviously can't be running it all when he's on stage a lot of the times. But I mean, what is there? There's the flamethrower, there's the gas bombs, there's the sawdust bombs, there's the coon tails. We've got
The flaming hat.
Husker don'ts.
Flaming top hat last weekend.
Yeah, flaming top hat now.
What? Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Man,
He had the flame tailed out probably 3 feet, when he was moving.
you'd have to see that to believe it, man.
It's wild.
No way.
Oh,
That's a tribute to Diamond itself, all the fireworks and shit
yeah,
that
no
he
way.
does.
And then we got this buddy Tyler. He didn't really invent it, I don't think, but he kind of crafted this invention into his own thing. It's we just call it a flame tube, but he basically has this steel tube with holes in it, and it's hooked up to propane and a speaker and an amp, and he'll like mic the drums, the kick drum or the guitar, and it'll pulsate the fire out of that tube with your music.
What?
And so we've been
Wild.
setting that up on stage with like diamond plate behind it. And yeah, it's like you hook it to the kick drum and it's just like boom, boom, boom. It's awesome.
Super cool.
But
That's funny.
it's always different depending on the venue, what we can get away with, like what's safe here, and how much space do we have? Is there a breeze? All that shit gets taken into account. So
Have you ever had any accidents or injuries or anything?
only personal ones. Practice ones, boys and girls, you gotta practice. Killer practices, but yeah.
Close calls, but luckily nothing Knock on wood.
Close calls and singed balls.
Yeah, there it
Pretty
is. Yep.
There's your
No,
next
I
album
have had
cover.
my hair lit on fire like twice, I think, but
Oh my
it
God.
goes out right away, dude. If you keep it nice and greasy, it just kind of fizzles a little. Yeah.
Oh
I
man.
smell it more than anything. I'm like, what the fuck?
Dude,
How do you
that's
know
too,
you're on fire?
that's
The
too
Like I
smell.
said,
scary.
dude, that's how you keep them split ends under control.
That's too scary, man. So you mentioned that you have some new material you're working on and that
Yeah.
you're ready to get into the studio. So yeah, like tell listeners a little bit again, like what your plans are, like when do you think you're going to have something new for them, and then
Yep.
what other live shows you got coming up?
Yeah, so yeah, we'll just stick to the first point. Basically the tracking we're doing a little bit different this time. Like the last album was, your standard metronome, get through it that way, lay the drums down, everybody play to that. But these new songs are just full of so much style and emotion and like tension and release that it's like I don't feel like sitting there and tempo mapping all that, so we're just gonna live jam it to get drum tracks and go off of that because like our drummer can do it. He's just got the feel. So
Cool.
and we've been listening to like old Van Halen and stuff, and you imagine if they would have tweaked that, or like if it wasn't natural, if they would have been playing to a metronome. It just,
Sure.
Mhm.
But we'll see how it goes. And then so yeah, that would, usually we would spend about a month in there tinkering in the studio, getting the good raw tracks, and then once we send them down to Russell Holler down in Texas, I mean, he's just like a workflow genius. He gets through things in no time. So
So do you think we're going to see something by the end of 2021?
oh yes. Oh
Okay.
yeah. I
Nice.
mean, if we want to make you wait, we'll make you wait till Christmas or something. And,
All right.
I got a shout out to Evan Yoakum from Red Shed Records just outside of Watertown. He's a young kid and just converted his barn, and he's a technical genius. I mean, I couldn't think of a better studio engineer, and I have really not come across one. So, I mean, I can't pump him up enough. I mean, the dude's awesome. So Red
great.
Shed Records, if you're looking to get something going on a good rate.
Awesome. Very cool.
This record will, be the first for the band to have the four of us in on it, as far as the creative process. So you're really getting a mix of everybody's background and everybody's input. So definitely more of a band effort. We spent a lot of the cold COVID months really hankering down here in the basement and getting the sound and getting tight and getting to a position where we can go in there and do it off of a click track, to just do it together and feel confident in that. So,
and with these new guys, it's way more versatile. I mean, you heard that first record, and that's pretty much written by two guys, and
Yep.
the others were along for the ride. But man, this dude is driving just with, it's like everyone's driving.
That's awesome.
So
And then
I'll take it.
That's really cool. And now that the four of you are kind of collaborating, what is that process like? I'm always curious. One of you kind of stick to doing some of the lyric stuff? Do you come up with just a bunch of riffs? What's that process kind of look like?
Well, for me, like I said earlier, I was a fan watching Jake, watching Brevin, watching Hiller perform. So just to be around is kind of like a dream come true, to have my input be valued. So the feeling is reciprocal that way. Like just as much they're honored to have my input, like I'm honored to be in the room. But what it's become is, Schultz will come up with a riff that's just supercharged, high horses, get up and go. And then I'll suggest, hey, let's try doing the same fingering. Let's drop 2 frets. Okay, this next phase, let's go down here. Or, so he's actually allowing me to kind of mold his hands in the riff in the way that, like, I'm not creating it that way, but it's almost like pulling his strings of imagination to come up with some really crazy stuff.
absolutely, dude. My job's never been easier.
Yeah,
fucking
so
awesome.
And for me, I always wanted to be a metal guitarist, but I can't shred. I mean, like my right hand's pretty good, but my left hand, it's just like glue for me, But Schultz can definitely do that, so it's kind of like a living through him almost. It's crazy,
And so we get that going, and then pretty much we've got like sometimes it'll be a 5 minutes of just these different riffs, and then Brevin will come over on the drums and all he has to do is hear it once and he's got like a whole song ready, and then he just starts tweaking it from there. And then when the lyrics come in and our vocalist is in, it's just like he only really wants to move a little bit around to make it fit, feel a vibe in these points, and everything's just on. It's
Yeah, the band has definitely never sounded tighter. I can definitely say that as a fan.
Very cool.
We're
That's
very
awesome.
excited. Very excited to record this record and share it with the world.
oh yeah.
Can't wait to hear it, man. Just hearing you guys talk about it. Just
You got any?
excited.
Yeah. Do you have any? Album titles, song titles you want to leak right now? Anything?
Well, I mean, we kind of have been teasing it. I mean, we cart around with old Mark Rizzo here and there when he comes around the Midwest, and hop on shows and just have a good time. But he's always the one on stage. He's like, "Hail the squid!" every time, every time. Hail the squid! So,
Hail the squid.
Almost to just kind of, we have inside jokes going with him and stuff, and I think we're just gonna name it "Hail the Squid," man.
That's
Either that
awesome.
or I got some whiskey upstairs. I could go get drunk real quick
Get
and if you
your-
give me a mic.
Great
Get
story.
Squid on.
Great story about Mark Rizzo. When we were playing in Indianapolis, we had a grill going in the alley and we were cooking these 1/4-pound beef hot dogs. They were delicious. You could smell them in the theater while Mark was playing, and we were all eating them. And someone thought to put one on his amp so that he could have it after he was done playing. Now, he literally was playing South of Heaven or something. He was ripping some Slayer,
Yeah.
and we were just watching,
I ran up there and put the hot dog.
just
up there.
waiting to see the vibrations knock off the hot dog, like off the amp.
And he's like, he finished his song. He's like, "Damn, that hot dog smells good." But if you know the guy, he'll never freaking eat a hot dog in front of anyone. Like, it'll just never happen. Like,
We were just geeking out in the crowd, just watching that. That was a good memory.
but
That's so awesome.
But we have, I think, in some ways, kind of, as a band, kind of learned to accept kind of like the silliness of what we do. Some of the song titles are kind of not silly, but I think you can tell that we're having fun. And
Yeah.
I think it comes across in the live show as well with the response. And we were really excited to play these new songs for people. We had a great show at the Crucible in Madison a couple weeks ago. We had a great show last weekend in Green Bay. Great crowd reactions. So just really excited to share it.
Very
Yeah,
cool.
I was gonna ask you guys too about the metal scene over in eastern Wisconsin. Is it vibrant? Is there a lot of stuff going on? Is there a lot of bands?
dude, it seems to me like with this reawakening after COVID, it just seems like everywhere we go, it's alive and awake, and it's just everywhere. People are just so amped up. I've never seen it like this before. Like it's just like a wake up call to people, I think, and
Yeah.
to embrace what you got when you got it. And life is short, and everyone's living by that around. It's just like, I don't know, things are awesome feeling.
Yeah. We've often talked about how when these things when these clubs are truly now, this fall where things are going to be open, you're going to have bands that are just itching to play. You're going to have, especially like, metal scene here, like in Minneapolis, we're just talking, you're going to have multiple clubs on a Friday, Saturday night. I can go see, 5-6 different bands. Like it's going to be crazy.
You wake up every Sunday morning and like you flip on Facebook and you're just like all these pictures of crazy ass shows.
Yeah.
And everybody's just like, "You should have been here last night, should have been there last night." It's like, man, I've never seen the scene like this. I haven't, I've been around forever, but I mean,
It's crazy.
it's awesome.
It is. It's a fun problem to have, right?
Yeah.
And then let's see. I was going to ask too. So you mentioned you played Madison, Green Bay. We have Dime Stock coming up. Any other shows that you want to plug coming up?
Oh yeah, that was your next point. So pretty much it's Dime Stock. Then in September, is that September 11th? Is that the Farmageddon? I'm just peeking at the
Ooh,
calendar. here.
Farmageddon. It sounds cool. What's that?
Yeah, dude, that's it's pretty much how it sounds. I think they just, it's just like this private party gig again, and they just get a bunch of people out on this farm, and there's a lot of things being blown up and big fires and lots of metal and some great bands. So that's on 9/11. And then we have the rescheduled May Bash, which they postponed this spring because it was a little too early off of COVID or whatever. And that's, what is that, September 24th? Yup.
I remember
Friday,
seeing.
September 24th, Hell Bash, they're calling it because it's closer to Halloween.
Okay.
And they got just again Friday and Saturday full of badass bands, and that's another outdoor.
We're headlining.
Rip it up. We're headlining Friday night, and
Cool. And where's Hell Bash held? Where's that?
that's in Rio, Wisconsin, and they've been doing that for like 32 years down there. And
Is
it's
that by Oshkosh?
it's more like by Portage.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, we got introduced to that a few years ago, and I've been playing it every year since. And there's just all these great times. October we're going to Wausau. We haven't been there since like 2016 or something. So we're excited to go play at the Intermission on October 30th. I think we got All Kings Fall, or no, H1Z1, my bad.
Okay.
All Kings Fall is going to be at Farmageddon with us. We haven't seen them boys in a minute, but yeah.
That's awesome. You got live shows coming up. I mean, it looks like things definitely are exciting for Squidhammer Metal, huh?
Yeah, we're having a good time.
Very cool. So
When the new
go
stuff
ahead.
comes out, are you gonna do like a tour or anything? Kind of stretch out from central southern Wisconsin? Or?
I know we can't do a tour until the new stuff's out, obviously. So it's pretty much like we're kind of just started stepping our foot in the pool with that, like last year or this year, and we got a bus now, so we've been hitting the road, going to Chicago, Indianapolis, trying to get out in the Midwest a little more. And yeah, I think once the new album's out, it shouldn't be hard to get somebody to throw us on a week here, a week there, just get out and make new fans, because we've been kind of bouncing around Wisconsin a little bit for a while, and we love it, but man.
There's a good group of metalheads here in La Crosse. You guys gotta
come and get you. We've never been to La Crosse.
Yeah, we gotta make a trip to Minneapolis and maybe stop at La Crosse, and
for sure.
There you go.
There on the
go
way.
We want to do some Weekend Warriors things, even if it's before the album's out.
Yeah, we would definitely do that.
Yeah.
Jim, you got to get them booked at the warehouse.
Let's go.
Yeah, we're ready. Where are we going?
Where is it? We'll be in the parking lot next weekend.
Grab our stuff.
We'll play in the parking lot. It's cool. Cooking hot dogs. We're selling hot dogs.
He'll have to wait a few months. They're not going to have any show. Their next show is August 26th, and then they're going to start booking after that. But between now and the 26th, they're holding off.
Still warming up.
Yep, and they're going to start with local bands. So there's a bunch of La Crosse local bands that'll probably be playing, and then
you got to build that back up and get things squared away.
Yeah, I'll definitely drop your name there, though.
Heck yeah, man.
Cool.
Talk to some friends in the cities too, see if they can get you up there.
Much appreciated.
Yeah.
So let's ask you guys a question. I'm gonna ask you guys a question. This is a very serious question, okay, guys?
I don't believe you already.
All right. So your house is on fire, and you have to run in, and you got to grab those 3 albums. Those 3 albums, the best albums that you could think of, that you got to take with you, right? What 3 albums are you going to save?
I mean, it doesn't even work out. Like that's an invalid question, dude, because I'm grabbing the guitar and whatever beer's left in the fridge.
Okay. Let me rephrase. Okay, let's say you're on a desert island.
Desert island.
And you only have 3 albums with you.
There we go.
Which 3 albums are you going to have with you?
All right, REM Murmur. This is very non-metal answers because this is who
that's
I am.
all right.
REM Murmur.
All right.
Bell and Sebastian, Fold Your Hands, Child, You Walk Like a Peasant. And the Kinks, Village Green Preservation Society.
Okay.
I think I'm going to bring Dawn of the Deli Creeps from the Deli Creeps, a Buckethead's old band from the 90s, because nothing gets me more ready for like Castaway, freaking Wilson action than good old Deli Creeps.
Okay.
That's going to be number 1.
Yeah.
I don't really need to bring any Pantera records because they just they just live up here.
It's all in your head. Yeah.
It's all there. Yeah. I mean, I can just skip
You can
that
just
one.
grunt them out on the island, just all the albums.
I might, what's the regional weather? Like, what's the climate? Does there a fall season? Is there any kind of cold weather coming through there?
Oh, wow.
You're
Yeah.
thinking about black metal now, aren't you?
Well, I'm just saying, you can make fun of me, but if there's any something fall going on, then I'm gonna need a typo negative record.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
I like the pumpkin spice of metal.
yeah.
Yep. You need some Peter Steele action.
Yeah, I gotta get that, man. I saw them guys on Halloween one year. It was shortly before he died, and that was unforgettable. But
I'll make it fun. I'll make it fun since it's metal, okay? Slipknot Live 9.0
oh yeah.
Okay.
in honor of the fallen. Pantera, Far Beyond Driven. I'm gonna take the Pantera one. And Megadeth, Rust in Peace.
Oh, there you go. That's a good one. Yep.
Yeah,
I didn't get my number 3 out, so I'm bringing There Goes the Neighborhood, Joe Walsh.
Oh, there you go. Right on.
And our man Tommy Mudcat89 is playing along on our YouTube page, and he says that he's going to bring Propane's Contents Under Pressure,
Hey,
Master of
always
Puppets,
good.
and Roots.
There you go. Good to have
There
him
you
back.
go.
Yeah.
Good one. Well, I want to make sure that everyone, again, before we wrap up today, I want to make sure that where can people go to get everything Squid Hammer Metal? Where do you want people to go find you on the socials, your website, wherever?
You're gonna have to go to the show.
Okay.
Pretty much. We're
edition t-shirts.
we're printing limited edition t-shirts with our screen press now, and
Nice.
we've got the coolest shit there. If you can't make it, you can go to squidheads.com, and pretty much everything's always in stock there. And whatever you see, the albums there, all that. But yeah, as far as following us, we're really trying to get you on YouTube, because that's where you really get to see like some of our antics and the other side of us, other than just the music. But
Which I highly recommend everybody go check that out, because it is some
Please
goofy
do.
shit, and it's fun and it's metal. Check it out.
yeah.
And check out our recent Crucible show. We got the whole set on YouTube.
Yeah, you might have to Google that one's on someone else's channel, but then go on Spotify if you're just streaming at work and piss your boss off, piss your coworkers off.
Right on. Well, you know what we're going to do? We're going to get links to all this stuff
Yeah.
at thrashreport.com. So again, reminder, everyone that's listening, you can always go to thrashreport.com. We have an archive of all of our episodes up there with show notes. We'll make sure that this episode 57 with Squid Hammer Metal will have links to all your stuff.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. And with that, I just want to, first of all, thank our guests. Thank you so much for coming, guys.
Well, thank you.
Thank you,
Yeah.
guys.
We're honored.
Awesome.
Yeah. Great to see you somewhat in person. And I definitely plan on being at hopefully one of your shows soon. But
Dude, it's gonna be a great time when we finally meet you guys, man.
Heck yeah.
Appreciate ya.
We'll be there. We'll be there.
Jim, we owe you at least a few beers for plugging us into that XM spot, man, with that Cowboys from Hell cover, because
yeah, man.
It's awesome. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no problem. My pleasure, literally. That was cool to hear you guys on that. So thanks, Scotty Krynock, for that too, for Corridor Covers play.
Heck yeah, man.
Very cool. I want to, again, so thanks to our guests. Thanks everyone that's listening. Just a reminder, everyone can find links to all of our socials at thrashreport.com. We want to hear from you. Let us know what you think you can send us an email, thethrashreport@gmail.com. And we will see you next time on the Thrash Report. See ya.
See ya.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Guys, thanks so much, man.
Thank you.
That was fun.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if my camera turned off there a little bit ago. Did you see that?
You were
stuttering
stuck
a
in
little
this
bit.
pose
Oh, yeah.
for a minute. It's like,
Dude, let's do
you're
a
doing it again.
let's do a screenshot for social, guys. Give us your metal face. Oh crap! Hold on. I gotta make sure that I can see.
Oh, this is
everybody.
awkward now.
I know. I gotta.
He's not
There
even
we
taking
go.
pictures. You just got to hold it.
There we go. Thank you, sir. That'll work.
That'll work. Move on. Move on.
All right, guys. Thanks again. We'll catch a live show one of these days. And again, I'll see what I can do to get you here to the cities, man.
Yeah.
Awesome, dude.
We'd
Can't
love
wait.
to.
Can't wait.
Cool. Have a great rest of your night. A great week, and we'll talk to you next time.
Thanks,
Sounds
guys.
good.
Thank
See
you
ya.
guys. Have a good night.
Yeah, you
Later.
too.
Good night. Yeah, like you wouldn't believe like how supportive to the
All right.
All right.
Jimmy, still there? You're
Yep.
stuck. I was like, your video's stuck. I